I think everyone, every program right now is really excited to get started, us included. I think we're excited to get on the road for our first trip. We head down to UConn tonight. We'll stay overnight and then get organized and play the next day. So just preparing all week. UConn is, probably one of the best crops of players in our league. I know where they were ranked preseason. I think we preseason ranked them second. So we got a really tough foe ahead of us. So it's gonna take a lot. It's very hard to play in that building. They've got a veteran team, so it'll be a really tough task to go on the road and beat their club. But we're excited for the challenge and excited to get going.
Great, thanks, Albie. We'll take any questions again if you want to use the raise hand feature. I'll be happy to call on you. Laura, go ahead.
Hi, Coach. Good morning. What was the focus this week in practice?
I think we're just, right now trying to get in shape. I think after the weekend we had some guys cramping up. We wanted to make sure the guys were hydrating well, trying to get in better shape if we're going to play at a high pace. So the pace of practice has been good. Obviously, special teams earlies, face-offs, stuff like that, trying to get organized on top of, our structure and then just our shape and how we're going to be able to play as a group, as a 5-man unit, shift after shift. But that was kind of the big focus, making sure that we work the guys hard early this week. And, we'll probably go light today. We'll probably only go 35 minutes. We've worked them pretty hard for 3 days. So we're hoping that, what we worked on, will show up. After the weekend, going back looking at the game was, the game was a little bit of a rock fight. It was physical and there was a lot of penalties, a lot of special teams, a lot of stuff to look at. So it was really hopefully a good learning week and good competitive week for the group.
Bob Joyce, go ahead.
Hey, Albie, what makes playing in Hartford so tough for your guys? It seems like every time you're playing the Huskies down here, whether it be Stores or Hartford, you're playing at least an overtime game.
Well, they're a really good hockey team. And Cav's a really good coach, and they've got a lot of different types of players that can hurt you, especially up front. Their face-off game's really good. I know Kondelik is probably one of the best face-off guys in the country. So at times you're chasing it. When he's going well on the dot, you're chasing the puck and playing defense right away. So things happen quickly. They always have good crowds, and the game can change. There's been games that we've been down or they've been down there, and we've been able to come back and they've been able to come back. And so hopefully it's another good one, and I'm sure it's going to go down to the wire.
And it must be nice to have Logan back again. I'm sure that that's a bonus. How have you seen him get better?
Logan's a confidence type player. When he's feeling good, he's one of the better players in our league. So I think he's pretty healthy. He got some of the kinks out from last game. I think he got better as the game went on, but his speed and, his tenacity and his leadership are kind of infectious. So we're hoping that he can get off to a good start for us.
Rick, go ahead.
Hi, Albie. How would you say your two freshman defensemen are responding and reacting to the speed of college hockey play?
I thought both handled themselves well, in a small sample size of the one game. In practice, they seem like they're getting better acclimated. I think Galley had a really good night the other night. He ended up getting a goal. And Doyle's had some good moments. There's going to be some ups and downs. We just got to be patient with the young D. We have been in the past with the likes of Fabro and McAvoy. Those guys end up being greats. And Ferentz, but, if people remember, Ferentz he was up front his freshman year at times. So it's definitely a process, but we're excited the way they're progressing.
And do you see Cade Weber having taken a bit of a step up? He seemed like with a lot of confidence on Saturday.
I hope so. Cade when he came in, he only played 20 games the year before because he had an injury and surgery. So last year he was, probably not in the best shape that he could be to start college hockey, not due to a lack of work, due to a lack of ability to do certain things with that injury. So we're hoping that Cade can give us, solid minutes, 5-on-5 and on the penalty kill with his skating and his length. he hopefully can be a handful for other teams forwards.
Any other questions for Albie? Adam, go ahead.
Coach, you've had one game of tape to look at for UConn coming off their victory against Sacred Heart. Is it the same sort of team that you see on tape this year that you would have seen in years past?
I think UConn's a pretty veteran team now. You know, they look pretty poised out there. I know it was kind of a little bit of a back and forth. They took a lot of penalties, and you know, Sacred Heart didn't. So they had to get on the penalty kill. But they're big, they're fast, they're aggressive, and they play a pretty up tempo style. And their D zone, similar to Lowell, you face some challenges. You know, they play pretty good lockdown D zone. So it's, you know, we're going to have to navigate that and find a way to win pucks, and you know, use the full zone rather than just the corners, because if not, if the puck gets stopped up, they'll squash you like a bug and then go the other way. So we're hoping we can keep the puck on the move and, you know, use our speed and quickness and smarts to hopefully get through it. But it's definitely a tough task. But they definitely have a style of play. They've got a team identity that they stick to, and I think Cav's done a really good job of creating that.
And this year, you know, even more so than in years past, they're a team that's looking to roll out 4 lines and they go deep at the front. Is that something that's on the radar, knowing that a team can throw all 4 lines out there in terms of what you're doing to match up?
Well, it's tough to match up on the road. Hopefully, we don't get stuck out there and they get some favorable ones. But I think we're similar. You know, we want to be able to play 4 lines. I think we get pretty good depth up front. So hopefully, you know, both teams can roll forward and the pace can stay really high, and we put on a good show for the fans.
Pat Donnelly, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, Ty Monty's had, you know, some rough luck with injuries over the last few years. Just what are you seeing from him as far as like being ready to go this year, and also like him and Tristan being together? It wasn't supposed to be that way, but what's the dynamic between them being on the same team?
Well, 2 energetic personalities, energetic guys on the ice, competitive guys. So it's nice to have both of them. It's unfortunate that Ty is, you know, he's not quite back. He's skating, but he's not quite back yet. But when he's skated, he's looked really good. So I'm happy for him. He's probably frustrated right now, but I think, you know, he'll definitely be in the lineup at some point soon. So we're hoping for his energy and his leadership. And, you know, he's a good centerman. He's good on draws. He's good on the penalty kill. He also has the aptitude to score some big goals and timely goals. So it'd be nice to get him back in the lineup, but we're wishing nothing but the best for him. And obviously having Tristan and the whole Amante trio that have played here, and you get the numbers, and Ty's now wearing 33 and Tristan's wearing 3 and Tony wore 3. So it's a lot of T's and a lot of 3s.
Bob, go ahead.
Hey, Albie, what's a guy like Matt Brown coming to your program from Lowell meant? What does he add to your team?
Well, he's a really good offensive player. We've moved him to center. He's taken to it pretty well so far. But he's a guy that can, you know, help you out. He's another guy that, you know, when the chips are on the line, he has a way of scoring some big goals, and I think everyone saw that in the playoffs last year. But I think he's one of the better scorers in the league, natural scorers. So we're hoping that he can really impact our lineup, you know, offensively on the power play. And we played him a little bit at the penalty kill, and you know, I think he's learning a little bit more on the face-off dot. And we watched some video with him this week, so he's very good. I think he was about 50%, which is not bad for your first game playing center in probably 4 or 5 years.